What's up, everyone? It's Fans of Houston, aka QFC. I'm here with this Palco, aka Classic Concepts, which I believe is from 1984. I think this is a 48 inch fan. Looks more 52 inch ish. Uses a nice heavy cast iron motor, vintage cast iron motor. And the finish, it's not something you see every day. At first glance, you be like, oh, it's copper. It is copper, but it's painted copper. It's some sort of painted copper. It uses these beautiful cane blades, which is in perfect condition. Now it isn't tight weave cane. It's not tight weave, but no doubt it still does look beautiful. I also don't understand why this type of cane gets so much hate. The blade brackets, they're polished brass. This is also an industrial ceiling fan motor, so that should tell you there's power there. I'm gonna go ahead and start it on low. I'm using a 3-speed Hampton Bay, control switch. I also got this fan from another Houston fan collector, and he got it from Facebook Marketplace. They originally used generic schoolhouse globes, not the nicer 80 ones, just the more like the ones you see at Walmart. And I like them on 5-bladed fans. I feel like 4-bladed fans should use a round globe. So the speed control does give off a nice low. I do like the low. I don't like the medium, however, which I'm gonna take it soon. It uses a slower medium. Well, it is a cast iron motor, so it does get up to speed. It does take a minute to get up to speed. It's also using a original canopy to stand on. So, and I am getting maybe this is a ideal medium speed, because I am getting a medium speed breeze from it, if that makes sense. This also uses a 14-degree blade pitch, a pretty steep blade pitch, maybe 14.5. And these don't use the cooler canopies you'd usually see these with. These they use a bell canopy. This one does, at least. All right, I'm gonna turn on high. I'm not gonna hold it for the sake of a better view for the video. But this thing's no joke. Yeah, so I noted earlier in the video, it uses a cast iron industrial motor. So if I were to hang this right now, it would probably blow more air than the original. I have a lot of fans that will blow more air than the original, actually. Especially my golden fans, they use a 15-degree blade pitch and they absolutely fly. They also use blades nearly as wide as the Hunter original blades. So the new place is probably gonna have this installed along with all my golden fans and my golden made ceiling fans. But the bearings, besides the bearings and the wind noise, this thing's completely quiet. There's no motor hum on high speed or anything. It's completely quiet. And the bearings, it's just like a faint scratch, because this thing barely runs, and I doubt it's ever ran on high for a long amount of time wherever it was, because it wasn't too much dust on it. It was pretty clean, and all it needed was a quick scrub and it looked brand new. So Yeah, high speed is great. This is definitely a good bedroom fan. Even a great living room fan. This also reminds me of a childhood game. I'm pretty sure it was called Duck Hunt. But this also reminds me of the fan that was in the living room of that video game. You know, I haven't seen that game in a few years, so I may be a little off. But either way, it gives me those vibes. And you know, I'd like to place this in a setting where it's wood paneling and everything. It looks that good. And as it's literally standing on the floor, there is no wobble. There is absolutely no wobble, which I find awesome. And you will really only find that in an older heavyset fan like this, where the motor really weighs a lot. And I'm getting amazing air from this. So yeah, I'd say the blade pitch is around 14.5 to 15. Because I don't think I got any air from. I don't think I ever got any air like this from a blade pitch fan. Not a blade pitch fan, from a fan that was pitched at 14 degrees like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Yeah, and it just spins beautifully. I love the way it looks while it spins. It's really an eye catcher if you're in a vintage looking thing. So even if you were just a person that was into vintage things, you look at this fan and be like, oh, that's really nice. Would this fit in a modern style home? Probably not. So okay, I should stop talking. The video is way too long.